Movie time with Chris. Yeah. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Movie Time with Chris. The channel devoted specifically to movies, movie trailer discussions, movie reviews, movie birthdays, box office results, with some special videos along the way. Now, hey, if that sounds like something that you're into, if you love the trailer discussions, if you want the movie reviews before you check it out at the theater, or hey, if you just love movies, subscribe to this channel. You're going to get all of that great content that you love and then some. Now, today is Sunday. I do realize I'm rather late with these, but I had a lot going on these past few days. Those of you that watch my videos know that I have animals and two cats. Well, had to take the cats to the vet. They had to have surgery, so with that, with regular errands, I just never had time to actually sit down and do this video. So here it is. Just to let you guys know, though, I did post my box office predictions on Twitter and Instagram. So you guys can see that and see that I haven't changed what I predicted, but we'll see how it's doing at the box office. So let's get started with today's video. Ooh, it's hot. We're going to start with our predictions that we had for last weekend's box office. So last weekend, October 5th to October 7th, I had predicted Venom at number 1, A Star is Born at number 2, Night School at number 3, The Hate You Give at number 4, and A House with a Clock in Its Walls at 5. I did a little bit better this past weekend than I did the previous one where I got everything wrong. The box office, the actual box office for last weekend, October 5th to October 7th, Venom was number 1, coming in with a record $80.2 million. Yeah, that made some money. I thought it would be close between 1 and 2. It wasn't that close. Number 2 at the box office was, in fact, A Star is Born, with $42.9 million. Now, between Venom's 80 and A Star is Born's 42, that made a record in itself of the highest weekend in October ever. So those two movies broke records. Number 3 at the box office was in fact Smallfoot, still holding on, 14.4. I've gotten this one wrong in every week's prediction. I did not think it would be in the top 5, and it keeps being in the top 5. So, go Bigfoot. Number 4 was actually Night School. Oh, I'm sorry, Smallfoot. I don't know if I said 14.4 million. Old age, forget things. Number 4 at the box office was in fact Night School, 12.5 million. So it wasn't number 3, it was number 4. I knew it would still be in the top 5. I knew it would still be holding on, and it is. Good for Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish. Rounding out the top 5 was in fact House with a Clock in Its Walls, with 7.3 million. This one I knew was going to be holding on. I knew it didn't want to get out of that top 5. I predicted it at number 5. It was number 5. This might be the last week that we see it in the top 5, but it had a good run. Now, I did predict that in my prediction, number 4 was going to be The Hate You Give. And I said that I was biased in it. This was a movie that I wanted to see. And the movies that I really want to see, that I look for, Nebs. The movies that I see that I really look for usually end up being like 8 or 9 at the box office, I had said. Well, The Hate You Give ended up coming in at number 13 at the box office. It did only $512,000. Yikes. Nebs, your cone. Nebs, hold on. Come here, baby girl. Oh my god. Knocking everything over. Technical difficulties. Holding on. We are back from our Nebs attack. So yeah, number 13. I wanted to see it. I knew it wasn't going to do well. I didn't think it was going to do that poorly. But at least I predicted it. Moving on. That was our box office recap for last weekend, October 5th to October 7th. Let's go to my prediction for this weekend, which is basically over, October 12th to October 14th. Now, again, I did post this on Twitter and Instagram. I predict that number one at the box office is going to be A Star is Born. I think that that movie is going to hold on strong. People that saw Venom this past weekend are probably going to go see A Star is Born this weekend. It's going to get a lot of people. I think it's going to be number one. I predict number two at the box office is actually going to be First Man. Not to say that it's not going to be as good a movie. I just think A Star is Born has had so much anticipation and people wanting to see it. Those that haven't seen the remake of the remake of the remake, they're going to be like, well, I know the story of Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. First man. Small step for man, giant leap for mankind. Yeah. So they're going to go see A Star is Born. I still think they're both going to make a boatload of money this weekend. I just don't think it's going to overtake A Star. Number three at the box office, I predict is going to be Bad Times at the El Royale. And this one, I think, is going to be one of those that next week is probably going to be higher up on the list, or at least still on the top 5, only because the cast alone is enough to bring people into this. So that's my prediction for number 3. I predict that number 4, only because we're in October, I think A House with a Clock in Its Walls is going to move on. Smallfoot is going to move on. I predict Goosebumps 2 is going to be number 4 at the box office. It might be higher, but, I think families might want to take their kids to see First Man over Goosebumps, and they might hold off Goosebumps till closer to Halloween. But who knows? What do I know? Number 5, my prediction, rounding out the top 5, I think is going to be Venom. I think it's going to have a big drop-off. I think a lot of people were not happy with it. It had a lot of bad reviews. I think everyone that wanted to see it already saw it. So for this weekend, it's going to have a big drop-off. Everyone's going to go see the other films instead. But I think it's still going to make enough money to be in the top 5. For those that don't really follow, critics and things like that. They just saw trailers for Venom and said, that looks cool. Oh, that's in the theater. Let's go see it. And they're going to go watch it. Not everyone follows movies as hardcore as some of us do. But that's my prediction for the box office for this weekend, October 12th to October 14th, which ends today. So we'll see how I do tomorrow morning. I'll see how wrong I was. All right, so moving on. I'm going to really try to keep this one super short. I don't really have a lot to go over. And again, I had a busy few days, and I still have a lot of things I have to tend to with the cats and just the other animals that we have. So moving on. For the birthdays, movies celebrating their birthdays this week. Again, as I stated, this was the reason that I started this channel. I kind of veered away from it, but I don't want to lose it. I want this to be something that I do every week, and it's going to be something I do every week. So if you don't want to hear about it, skip it. Um, but it's going to be in every video. So here we go. The movies celebrating their birthdays this past week, celebrating their fifth birthday this week, or this past week, we had Escape Plan, Captain Phillips, Delivery Man, and Fifth Estate. Now, of these movies, I've actually seen them all. And, Fifth Estate was all right. It was a little draggy. Delivery Man had its funny moments. I like the concept of the guy who has like 187 kids. Captain Phillips, Tom Hanks. I mean, great actor, great performance, true story. But I think the one that took it for this week was Escape Plan. I mean, this movie, I really enjoyed. If it's on, I'm watching it. I know they have it on, I think, Vudu for free for this month. And yeah, I think I've seen it like twice already. It's that good. I love it. I love the performances in it. Sylvester Stallone and Arnold, yes, they're like 300 years old, but you know what? This movie is good. I like it. Moving on. Celebrating their 10th birthday this week, we have Bronson, Body of Lies, The Express, Quarantine, and The Hurt Locker. Now, I haven't seen all of these, but Body of Lies has Leonardo DiCaprio. He seems to deliver in almost everything that he does. Haven't seen it though. The Hurt Locker, another one with a great cast. Haven't seen it though. I know. Movie Channel, with a guy who hasn't seen movies. And Bronson. This is one I would love to see but haven't seen because I think Tom Hardy is amazing. His range is epic. And when I hear the story of this character, the real life Bronson, it intrigued me even more. And this is one that I'm going to have to check out soon. So obviously, that leaves The Express and Quarantine. Quarantine I saw once in the theater, and I think that was enough. And I can't remember anything about it except for the fact that people were sick and there was quarantine. The Express. I think even if I've seen everything else on this week's birthday, The Express takes it. That movie, true story, unbelievable. And I mean, the visuals in it alone are great. When they show that green gridiron, and oh, this is one that I love. I owned it for a little while, but I ended up trading it for something better. Um, but yeah, I love this movie. Moving on. Celebrating their 15th birthday, the teenagers. We have Kill Bill Volume 1, Elf, and Runaway Jury. Now, those of you that know me know I do not like Will Ferrell at all. I don't watch his movies. I even covered that a few weeks ago when Night at the Roxbury was having its birthday, and I said that was the only movie I've seen really with him, and that's probably why I don't watch his movies. So Elf, never saw, don't want to see, have no desire to watch. I don't care how funny people say it is. It's got Will Ferrell. I'm not going to watch it. Kill Bill Volume 1. Here's another one. I don't watch a lot of movies with Quentin Tarantino. Sorry about that. Seem to keep getting interruptions today. Kill Bill. I've heard this movie is great. I just have no desire really to watch it. Now, I believe this was done by Quentin Tarantino. And Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, their movies are good, but I don't know. Some of them just don't hit well, and I just, you know, I think Dust Till Dawn is good with Quentin Tarantino. I think some of his movies lately have been absolutely amazing. Um, but I just no desire to really watch it. I hear it's great. I'm sure it is. Does nothing for me. But Runaway Jury. Oh my god. What a concept of people that most people try to avoid jury duty. These people want to get on the jury and kind of pull the strings to get what they want. Because big corporations have all this money and they can basically do whatever they want. They just want to make things right, and it's just an amazing movie. Great cast. Each week has had one of these amazing movies. So we're going to see what the next one brings. We're moving on to 20 years, The Adult, celebrating their 20th birthday. This week we had one movie, and it was Holy Man. And I never saw it. I don't even think I've ever heard of it. Eddie Murphy, he's funny. Didn't see it, never heard of it, don't know anything about it. If you've seen it, you know about it. Let me know what I'm missing in the comment section, if I'm missing anything at all. But with that, we're moving on to our trailer discussion. Now, again, for those of you that may not have seen it in my past videos, I no longer am doing trailer reactions. Only because, excuse me, only because I keep getting like copyright content warnings, and videos are being blocked and things are being cut out of the videos because I have the trailer in it. So I figured I would just eliminate the trailer altogether and talk about the movie. You guys can watch the trailer. You could find it anywhere on YouTube or IMDb. And I'll just have my discussion about it. Talking about it so you guys can watch the trailer and then come back to this part of the video, or just watch this part of the video and then watch the trailer, however you want to work it. Excuse me. So, we're going to start with the Aladdin trailer. I think the only thing that is enticing me about this movie is the fact that it's going to have Will Smith. And I love Will Smith. I've seen just about every movie that he has been in. Do I think he can top Robin Williams? No. There will never be another Robin Williams genie. But, obviously he's going to have his own twist on it. Kind of like with the whole Joker thing. I didn't think anyone could beat Jack Nicholson, who I grew up with as the Joker. But Heath Ledger did really well, but a different twist. I think that's what this is going to be. It's going to have Will Smith's twist on it. So I'm really hoping I'm really hoping they do something good with it. The names of the the name of the actors coming out in this really don't ring any bells for me, except for Will Smith. So, do I think we need a live action remake of Aladdin? No. Disney, obviously, they're lazy and they have no new ideas at all, so they're just pulling stuff that they've had and just making it live action. I don't think they should do it. Leave the classics alone, but whatever. I watched this trailer. It did nothing for me. You see figures walking around in the sand, in the desert, and there's some kind of talking in it, but Even with the volume up all the way, it sounded like an upset stomach kind of grumbling. So this trailer did nothing. If anything, it pushed me away from wanting to watch the movie. But that's just my opinion. It was only a teaser. It was really short, but it did not get me excited at all. Moving on to the second trailer we're going to be discussing today, which was the trailer finally came out for the remake of Pet Sematary. Hollywood has gotten lazy and they decide now that, they did this remake of Stephen King's It, and people thought it was a hit. I thought it was all right. I don't think it was great. Do I want to see the next one? Not really, because this one didn't get me excited about it. But because they did this one, and people that never saw the made-for-TV movie were watching it for the first time, got all excited, spent all this money, so they're going to keep making Stephen King movies, and they're remaking Pet Sematary. That's what I have to say about that. Do you need to make a remake? No. Leave it alone. The original wasn't even that long ago. And the original still can creep people out. So, I don't know. I don't think we need it. It's got a good cast, but I feel like this is just going to be the same thing. The family's moving into the house with the road where the trucks are just zooming by. They took the original and just put it into this movie. There was nothing new about it, nothing exciting, nothing enticing. You see the cat that they buried. They did that in the original. The kid that's going to get hit by the truck and they buried. They did that in the original. There's no spoilers there. Trust me, anyone who's seen Pet Sematary, and if you're a Stephen King fan, you've seen it, or a horror fan, you've seen it. So I'm not spoiling anything there. There's nothing to get excited about. Okay. Another remake of Stephen King's movie. Let's go watch it. No, let's not. Let's watch the original at home on some streaming service where we could do it in our jammies and not care. That's my thought on that. Moving on. I went through those quick. I have nothing to say about remakes. I don't think they need to be done. Certain movies can be, just to kind of update them with the times, but not to really try to copy the same thing. It's just lazy. It's lazy. It's no thought process at all with the people in Hollywood. It's just, hey, I like this movie growing up. Let's remake it. It's lazy. Anyway, the last trailer that we're going to be discussing today, our last topic, is the Glass trailer. Oh my God. Okay. Unfortunately, as I've stated before, when the first trailer for this came out, I've never seen Split. I wish I have seen Split. It looks absolutely amazing, and it's not on Netflix, it's not on Hulu. They have it on Vudu, but only to buy, and I don't want to commit to buying it just yet, but I would like to see it. But you can't rent it on Vudu, so I don't know where I'm going to catch this movie, unless I actually just suck it up and pay the $15 and buy it. But I like M. Night's movies, with a few exceptions. Lady in Water, The Village, but Sixth Sense, Signs, even The Happening. I love his movies. I think he is like Stephen King. Stephen King has almost all of his movies taking place in the state of Maine, while M. Night's movies take place in Pennsylvania, predominantly Philadelphia or the Philadelphia area. So I like his movies. I've seen a lot of his movies, if not all of them. Oh yeah, the Airbender one. But anyway, I've seen a lot of his movies. I've always said that Unbreakable was the greatest movie that he has done. I thought it was unbelievable. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And to have Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis in this movie, amazing. So then he came out with this Split movie, and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to go see it in the theater, because at the time, some of his other movies weren't that great, his latest works. So I was like, he seems to be slipping. Do I really want to go spend money to see this? It wasn't until long after the fact that I heard that Bruce Willis is in the movie as a like an uncredited cameo, coming in at the end and tying the movie into Unbreakable. And then I was like, oh my God, I need to see this movie. Never got a chance to. But now Glass is coming out. The first trailer got me super excited. This trailer got me literally looking everywhere on streaming services for Split and made me want to watch my copy of Unbreakable again. This movie is doing its job. It is getting people excited. People loved Unbreakable. People loved Split because of just how it did in the box office and the hype that it was getting. So this movie is going to bring so many people to it. People that didn't know that Split was tied to it, now they see these trailers and they're like, oh my God, but they saw Unbreakable and loved it. They're going to want to see this. People that saw Split and didn't know that it was part of Unbreakable, but they see this, are going to want to see it. You're going to have a huge group of people wanting to see this movie. It's going to be amazing. The trailer, unbelievable. They show a lot without showing too much, and it's just enough to get you really excited to see some of Bruce Willis before I guess he gets locked up in this institute, and to see James McAvoy there as well, and what they're doing on the outside beforehand, and then to have Samuel L. Jackson there, supposedly heavily sedated. Now, maybe he's acting like he's out of it, I don't know, but he's pulling the strings. And going back to Unbreakable, he believed that if someone was like him who could constantly be broken, there had to be someone out there who couldn't be broken. It's the whole story of comic books, The villain is the exact opposite of the hero. And that's just kind of the way it is with everything, with good and bad. Perfect example that just came to mind, The Matrix. They talk about Neo being the one. Well, to end the one, they had to have another anomaly who was the opposite of him. And that's where Agent Smith came in. So you always have this good, bad, equal. So that's Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis. But Samuel L. Jackson can't take on Bruce Willis. Physically, he can't. So that's why he gets James McAvoy and the Beast to come after him. And just talking about this trailer, I'm excited. There's a lot of movies I'm looking forward to. Aquaman, Creed 2, I'm really looking forward to. Halloween. Nothing that has a trailer out yet, because I'm sure Avengers 4 is going to be amazing, but nothing has me as excited as this Glass movie. I cannot wait for this movie. I just can't wait for this movie. If you haven't seen the trailers, check them out. If you haven't seen Split or Unbreakable, check them out. This movie is going to be great. But hey, that's just my opinion. I said I was going to keep it short. I still ended up getting to 30 minutes somehow. So, hey, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on the box office prediction, the box office recap, the movie birthdays, the trailers that we discussed. Just give me your opinions in the comment section below. As always, you guys can follow me on Twitter. It's Movie Time with C1, the letter C, the number 1. And on there, again, I'm going to just post little things like my thoughts on certain projects and box office predictions and when videos are coming up. You guys can also find me on Instagram, Movie Time with Chris. That's movie_time_with_Chris. You guys can see the little snippets of videos I've already uploaded, things I'm working on. Also, my box office predictions are going to be on there, so you could check that out. If you like what you see on the Twitter, on the Instagram, come back to the channel and subscribe. Again, you're going to get all of the great content and then some. And I say the and then some because if you guys ever have a question, a topic you want to hear about, a video you want to see, all you have to do is email me, movietimewithchris@gmail.com. I'm going to check the email multiple times a day. I will not miss your message, and I can guarantee that your question, the topic you want to hear about, the video you want to see, will appear in a future video on this channel. Now, hey, if you enjoy this channel, if you like the work I do, there's a few things I'm going to be working on in the future that I'm thinking about making exclusive to those that support me on Patreon. Now, I'm going to have the link in the description below, so check that out. If you want to support me and get in on that exclusive content that I'm going to be doing, go ahead and check it out. Yeah. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, share the video with your friends, please subscribe. And until next time, take care.